Mac, check out this teddy bear collection. Seems a bit odd for a girl her age.
Yeah. And remember the clue? There's even one with a brown nose.
Boom! Here's the videotape Tom was looking for. So she was serious about turning him in. That's motive.
Let's bring it down to the lab. Hey, Lindsay, got anything for us?
I checked the tape out. I'd love to see your amateur filmmaker go down for being a scum, but it's inconclusive who's on the tape. Maybe if we can link his gun to the murder?
Let's hope we can link his gun to the murder.
We've been trying to reconstruct Beth's hard drive. I found this email from Headmaster Jennings to Beth, but it's partially corrupted. Looks like there's a few extra letters in each word. Think you can help me figure out what it says?
Based on that email, it's pretty clear that Headmaster Jennings felt threatened by Beth's blog.
Let's see if we can learn more by deciphering the content of Beth's email reply.
Headmaster was sleeping with a student after all, but it wasn't Beth. It was Jack. The blog threatened to expose the affair, and since Jack's the real blogger, he may have wanted to out his relationship with Jennings.
That threat alone could provide someone with plenty of motive.
I'd say a visit with Jack is long overdue. Let's find out who was threatening who.
I test-fired Tom's gun as well as the antique one you picked up at the Cooper's condo. Now let's see if we can line up the striations and find out if either one matches the bullet we found in Beth's room.
Found a match, but not the one we expected.
Tom's gun wasn't the one used in the murder after all. Huh, guess he's just guilty of being a scumbag.
The murder weapon was actually the Cooper's Chinese gun, but was it jealous Jill or out of Jack who fired it? Both have access to their father's gun. We got a copy of the surveillance tape from Beth's condo. The camera only covers the side door, so it may or may not show us the perp. But it could confirm Tom King's whereabouts. Could you verify it for me?
Yep. I can tell you if it's real or not. The footage appears to be authentic, but the screen grabs I took seem to be out of sequential order. Think you can help me rearrange them?
So Jill was getting her revenge on Beth by sleeping with her new crush. Neither of them could have committed the murder, since that's the only door to the basement and there's no accessible windows. We can cross those two off our list of suspects.
Hold on. Did you notice something between the final two images?
Is that a tire tread? Looks like someone was leaving the building in a hurry.
This tape gives us more than the lover's alibi. There's a clue left by the real killer.
I was able to digitally enhance that tread from the surveillance video. Maybe we can determine what kind of tire it's from. The tread was made by a high-performance racing bike tire, the same kind used by the Hillridge Prep racing team. Looks like someone on the team rode out the front door while Tom, the doorman, was otherwise busy.
Mac, I think you'll be interested in what I've been working on. I was compiling a list of blog postings on Hillridge Confidential from Beth's computer as well as on the web server. It was pretty messy considering her hard drive was shot. Literally. But maybe we can still match them up.
Why is there one left?
My question exactly. Turns out there was a new blog post on the web server at 6:05. More Jill lousy stuff.
But Beth died at 3:55. I mean, she hated Jill so much she posted from the grave. Come on. I don't believe in zombie blogging, you?
It actually was zombie blogging. The IP address shows that Jack Cooper could take over her computer anytime and post to her blog. And he was the one doing all the text posts.
So Beth was the one getting all the FaceTime, but Jack was the real voice behind the Hill Ridge Confidential.
Looks that way. I'll give you a copy of this post so you can ask him about it.
Hello again, officers. How's the case going?
It's led us back to the real author of Hill Ridge Confidential.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have evidence you posted all the Hill Ridge Confidential blogs. So why were you using Beth as a front for your ideas?
Beth was good on camera and was brave enough to put her face out there. But she didn't have the wit or the intel to put out a high school blog that got 1,000 hits a day. Some of the blog was about Beth's love life, but the names were my idea. Gay Bro, Jill Lousy, Shug Daddy, New Crush. Clever, huh? That was me. I used Beth's blog to indirectly out myself. I wasn't brave enough to do it in person. And this way, my parents wouldn't be able to send me to military school for doing it. Hill Ridge Confidential might have outed me to the world, but my loving sister outed me to her parents, so they could try to cure me. I figure if she can make my life hell at home, I can make her life hell at school. That was Beth's idea to make the headmaster look like a perv. I actually liked the guy. I tried to talk her out of that stuff. It was completely untrue. Tom was a good distraction for Beth when Jill dated her ex. But then I think Jill got wind of the new guy. She was planning on seducing him.
Your father's gun was the murder weapon. You had easy access to it.
I was down at the race committee meeting in Central Park when Beth was killed. Headmaster Jennings asked us to meet him there. The house was empty and I didn't get back till after 6. I didn't know that gun even worked. I was able to use Beth's computer remotely. It's pretty easy, actually.
Thanks for your time, Jack.
So Headmaster Jennings was terrified that Beth was going to reveal his affair with Jack on her blog, not knowing that Jack himself was the one threatening him. He grabbed a gun from Jack's house and went next door to silence Beth for good.
A plausible theory, but what proof do we have? A bike tread and a weak alibi? And how did he get the gun from Jack's place?
I agree. It's not enough to convict yet, but it is enough to bring the guy in and to recheck his office. Do you think he's actually dumb enough to use his work computer for his liaison with a student?
If he's a killer, I can believe it.
Jennings has some sort of password protection on here. That email certainly shed some light on things.
With a key to Jack's house, Jennings would have access to that gun. That's opportunity. And he stood to lose everything if his affair with Jack got out, so there's definitely motive.
You can use gloves to cover prints, but gunpowder residue sticks to everything. Looks like our killer wasn't so smart after all. We better head back to the lab to see if we can link the residue on the glove to the murder weapon.
Hey Mac, how's the case?
Got some GSR for you to match.
Every gun leaves distinct GSR, especially something so exotic as this weapon.
Let's see if we found our killer.
confirmed. The gunshot residue on Jennings' riding gloves is an exact match to the murder weapon.
Time to scold the headmaster.
I told you I wasn't sleeping with Beth, so why would I get that upset about lies? Legal would have shut her down eventually.
It wasn't Beth you were sleeping with.
Are you implying something? I follow all the protocols. No other girl has made any accusations, credible or otherwise.
Were you wearing these gloves when you rode your bike to the meeting?
Of course.
We found traces of gunpowder on them. An exact match to the weapon that killed Beth.
I don't know how that got there. Where did you find this?
Right outside Beth's condo. After the murder.
Well, I might have ridden by there. I mean, Jack might have too. Not to mention several other members of the team. It proves nothing. It was a mistake. A serious mistake. I ended it for good a few weeks ago. Jack was very upset and kept trying to convince me to come out and come back to him. It was soon after that all the rumors started showing up on Beth's blog saying I was seducing students. Then she revealed that Jack was gay, and I didn't know what she was going to say next.
You lied to us. You said you were at the race meeting at 3:45, but Jack told us you didn't start it until 4:15. That means you are unaccounted for at 3:55 on the day Beth was murdered.
Maybe I could have gotten to the meeting on time if I hadn't hit so many red lights.
Or if you hadn't stopped at the red brick condos to kill Beth.
What does that have to do with me? I've never seen that gun before.
It's the murder weapon, and it belongs to Jack's father. We know you had access to it.
Oh, it's from the Cooper's home. I had no idea.
We now know that Beth wasn't the real voice behind Hillridge Confidential.
What on earth do you mean?
Jack was.
Don't understand. Why would he write all that stuff about me?
We have confirmation you were sleeping with Jack Cooper. Jack, as Hillridge Confidential, was going to reveal your secret to the world, but you thought the blogger was Beth. So you plan to kill her to keep her quiet.
This is preposterous!
We know you were late to your meeting, so you had time to commit the murder. Tom was away from his post, so you got in and out of the building without being seen. You had a key to the Cooper's condo, which is on the same floor as Beth's, so you swiped the Chinese revolver and headed out the balcony. The fire escape plan showed you the way. We have your tire tread at the scene. And gunpowder from the Chinese gun on your gloves. That's motive, opportunity, and a murder weapon. The Holy Trinity. Then you replace the gun, expecting us to find it and blame Jack. You rode to your meeting like nothing happened. Sadly for Beth, you had the wrong victim. Jack was the one who wanted to expose you.
Jack is a headstrong boy. Too naive to know how these things work. I cared about him, but he's young and rich. I knew he'd find a way out of this mess, even if he was accused of murder. But if that blog had outed me, I'd have lost my job, my family, and my reputation. My life would have been ruined. That poor girl. Why couldn't Jack be content to keep things between us?
Headmaster Jennings wanted to hide his indiscretion, and he was willing to resort to murder.
And a girl who craved attention got more than she could handle.